Okay, so welcome to the Saturday morning strength yoga class. We're going to start out with a sufficient warm up. It's morning, right? So it's Kapha time of day. That means that there's going to be more stagnation. There's going to be more resistance is a word we can use because that's something that does happen with Kapha. But typically Kapha, what happens with Kapha is because there's a lot more energy of earth and water. So there is more of a tendency for stagnation. And so in the morning, you want to have a more invigorating type of practice. So we're going to do that and wake up our kapha-ness, our stagnation. And it's cold too. So we need to do it for that reason as well. All right, so let's get started. We're going to do a nice warm up and make sure all of our joints are feeling good. Okay. And I'm going to give Christine a blanket and a couple of blocks because she's here in the hallway. Okay. All right. Hands to your heart. Let's warm up. So inhale, open up the chest, come all the way up. And then exhale, we're going to drop down and go right into a rotation and open up the arms. And then swing the arm around and come back up and reach. And then exhale down and open up the arms to the other side. And we're going to do that a few times. Inhale, reach, open the chest, reach back behind you. Exhale, inhale, open. Exhale, inhale, come back up. Open the chest. Exhale, sit and rotate to the other side. Inhale, open. Exhale, down. Inhale, come back up. And now we're going to drop into a forward fold all the way down. And then inhale, lengthening the spine and step back into down dog. So first down dog of the day, we're going to walk through our ankles. Warm them up. And then draw both heels down. Good. So both heels drawing down. So at the same time, you draw your navel in. Get hollow in your belly. So we're going to start adding lunges. We're going to start out with a high lunge from this down dog. So you pick up the right leg, step forward, separate your feet, you're in a high lunge. And then we're going to add rotation, just like in our warm-up. So you rotate to one side, open up, and bring that arm around, and drop your back heel and rotate to the other side. And bring it around and step back, down dog. Step forward now, left leg. So your other leg comes forward, holding that high lunge. Good. One hand's on the ground and then you rotate to one side. And then that arm comes down, drops in front of the foot. You can use a block here, by the way. Drop your back heel and then open up to the other side. There's my blocks. You can use a block. And then swing your arm around and step back, down dog. From here, shift forward into plank. Drop your knees and lower. Lift. Press back, down dog. Good, and we're going to do the same thing, but now we're going to do it as a half lunge. So pick up the right leg, step forward, drop the back knee. So you're in a lunge, hold it here, and we're going to rotate again to one side. Rotate. Now, curl your toes under on the leg behind you, lift, and swing that upper arm around, bring it in front. You can use a block, that's fine. drop your back heel, and now we open to the other side. So this rotation side to side is a little bit of our theme today. We're making sure we're opening up the spine. Rotation always helps to bring the subtle forces to the center of the body. So it is morning, we're waking up the kapha in the body, but we also can help bring the body into balance by paying attention to the postures that we're choosing. Swing the arm around, and so we can feel more centered by doing rotations. Down dog. And then shifting forward, you're going into plank. You can modify to the knees if you need to. Otherwise, lower, lift, back down dog. Good, and then your left leg comes up. And stepping forward, and this is a half lunge again. So you're in a half lunge. Half lunge just means you drop the knee. Open to the side. So it's a little bit deeper now for the hip. And then curl your toes under on that leg behind you. Swing that upper arm around, and the hand goes in front and the foot drops behind you, and you open up to the other side. Got it, Elena, that looks great. Then swing the arm around, step back, down dog. Shift forward, plank, lower, modify if you need to. Lift up Trichanasana and take it back, Adho Mukha Shavasana. Good. Now stepping forward, right leg, warrior one. Come right up, reach. Opening up the chest. So in this posture, even though your pelvis is super stable, it is shifting forward. So you rotate right hip back, left hip forward. Tailbone is neutral. It means it points straight down. You do want to engage the navel. So the navel goes in and up, but you're opening the chest like you're going into a back bend. Bend the knee. Nice. And then we rotate to one side. Use a block if you need to. No problem. And then that upper arm swings around, goes in front of that planted foot. And then you just open up right to the side. And now take that arm alongside the ear. So a little bit bigger. Then swing the arm around. Right leg is going to go up into three-legged dog. Take it right up. Then bend your knee. Look underneath the right armpit. Good. And then that same leg, the knee draws in. Pull it into the chest. You're holding it there, and then take that leg across the body. Rotate the left heel, and then you're opening up into a variation of side plank. Now you can drop here. That's a modified variation. So here's where the hallway is not so great. Then swing the arm around, step back, down dog. Shift forward, plank. Lower. Lift. Back. Left leg comes forward, Virabhadrasana 1, warrior 1, and we're holding it here just so we can get the alignment. Remember, left hip back, right hip forward. Okay. Okay, so back heel is down. Try to keep that leg straight. You're opening the chest, trying to add a back bend, but you got to stabilize in here. Keep this drawn in right here in the navel. And One hand goes down and you rotate the torso towards the front leg. Back leg is straight. Then swing that arm around front. You can use a block and you open up to the other side. Your back heel is already down, but then take that upper arm alongside the ear. So taking the arm alongside the ear, see if you can open up that side body. Then swing the arm around. And now you're going to go into three-legged dog. So left leg goes up. Go right up into three-legged dog. Bend at the knee. Look underneath that left armpit. And then draw that knee in. Draw it in, draw it in, draw it in. Now you can just drop the knee right down or take the leg right underneath the body and across. Turn your right heel in and then open up. You got it. Swing the arm around. Down dog. Shift forward plank. Lower. Lift. Back. Good. Look up at your hands and step forward. Go right into an extension. Fold. Inhale up. Exhale, hands to your heart. Okay, so we're going to do a different sequence. Surya Namaskar. Okay, bend those knees. Inhale up. And exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, step back into plank, lower, modify to the knees if you need to. Lift up, cobra or up dog. Press back, down dog. Right leg comes forward, warrior one, reach. Release, step back into plank. Modify if you need to, lower, up dog or cobra, back down dog. Left leg steps forward, warrior one on the other side. Virabhadrasana one. And then release, again, stepping back into plank, lower, lift, back, down dog. Look up at your hands. You're either going to walk your feet in or hop. Go into an extension. Fold. Bend the knees. Inhale up. Exhale, standing tall. Beautiful. Two more times. Inhale. You will be very warm after this. Exhale down. Inhale, extension. Step back into plank. Lower. Lift up dog or cobra. Press back, down dog. Right leg steps forward, warrior one. Reach. Very nice. And then release, step back into plank, Chaturanga Dandasana, lower, lift, back down dog. Left leg steps forward, warrior one. And then release, step back, lower, lift, and back. Looking up at your hands, you're going to step or hop. Extension. Fold. Bend the knees. Inhale up. And exhale, standing tall. One more set. Inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Yoga is not for wimps, for sure. Inhale, extending your spine. Step back, plank, lower, lift. Good, Elena. Back, down dog. Right leg forward, warrior one. Reach. Release. Step back, plank, lower, Chaturanga Dandasana. Lift. Back, down dog. Left leg forward, warrior one. Reach. And then release, step back. Again, plank, lower, lift, back, down dog. Look up at your hands and step or hop. Lengthen the spine. Hold. Bend the knees, inhale up. And standing tall. Inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Add an extension. Step back into plank, lower. Lift. Go back, down dog. Step forward, warrior two. We're going to go from warrior two into Trikonasana. So you're in warrior two, looking down that middle right finger. Again, tailbone is neutral. Belly's drawing in and lifting up. But now your hips are open to the side. Watch this knee. There is a tendency for it to drop in. You want to keep opening it up. Turn the hand, reach. Then straightening the leg. We're going to pull the back leg in a little bit. Line up the front heel with the arch of the back foot. Now you might need a block. It goes on the baby toe side of the foot and then lower. Both legs straight. Both legs straight. Now rotate your shoulder like this. So instead of like this, open it like that. Yep, that's it. So you have to watch the shoulder. There's a tendency with the shoulder where the shoulder kind of drops like this. Can you guys see that? And what you want to do is you want to open that shoulder up. Open the whole chest. That looks great. So then we're going to go from Trikonasana into a balancing posture, Artachandrasana. So if you're using a block, you take the block with you. Reach out with your block, going the distance of your torso. Slide your back leg in. You can do this with the arm released at the low back too. That's fine. Slowly lift your back leg. And if you feel nice and strong here, you can turn your head and look to the side. This is a hard pose. Good, and then when we lower, you're gonna lower, come right back into Trikonasana. So if you're using the block, take it with you. Swing that left arm around. Go into your high lunge, open up to the side, reach. Hi, Marty. And then open up to the other, drop your heel, open. Swing the arm around, step back, down dog. Shift forward plank, lower. Lift. Down dog. Hold it here. We're going to do 5 breaths. You got it. That looks good. Separate your hands a little bit. I mean, your fingers. That's good. I know, yoga's hard. Okay, so you want to keep your lower ribs pulled in. Now draw your heels down. Yeah. Keep this drawing in and up. That looks good. I know, it's crazy, isn't it? You're like, this is so hard. Nobody knows. They do when they start doing it. They go, wow, it's hard. Okay, picking up the left leg. It's stepping forward, Virabhadrasana 2. Open up on the other side. So I know you guys, camera turns me. So I'm trying to be better about not telling you what leg you're on, but we just did the right side. You're probably on your left leg. I'm facing you. It makes it look like I'm on my left leg. Okay, so here's if I were to rotate. This is the leg I'm on. My left leg is forward. Virabhadrasana 2. That looks great. And then straightening that leg. You're gonna reach, pull your back foot in a little bit and line up the front heel with the arch of the back foot. It's a good alignment. It's an important alignment. And then you drop down. If you want to use a block, use a block. If you don't have a block, you can just rest your hand at your shin. And you're holding. Both legs straight, you guys. That looks awesome. And again, you guys are doing a good job of watching that shoulder, trying not to let the shoulder drop, but you open up the whole chest and reach. It's better actually to not go down as far down the leg with the one hand, because sometimes if you do that, it drops the torso. If you come up a little bit, like an inch or two, it gives you a little bit more space to open up the torso and line it up with that front leg. That is a better position to be in. Good. And then we're going into Artachandrasana. So turning your head, looking at your big toe. If you want to release your upper hand to your back, that's fine. You reach forward, take your block with you if you're using it. Slide your back leg in. So hold it there first before you do anything. Get your balance, get stable, then slowly start to lift that back leg up. It has to be activated, you guys. If the leg in the air, if it starts getting limp, you're working way harder than you need to. And then if you feel stable, turn your head to the side. And then lower. Now, as you lower, we're going to swing that around, lift your back heel. You're in a high lunge. And rotating the torso towards the front leg. Oh, that feels good. And then that hand comes down and you drop your back heel. And now we open up to the other side. So we're doing our rotation again. Swing the arm around, step back, plank, lower, lift. Okay, back into child's pose. So first child's pose, first rest, and you want to completely take the rest. So big toes together, open up your knees, drop your head, your arms go to your side. Child's pose, it's like the fetal position. You totally relax. Move your breath into your low back. So the whole torso and the low back. Relax, relax, relax. Forehead is down. Forehead's down. And just relax. We're going to take a full minute. Is that okay, Christine? So drop your breath down into here too. Good, you're working. I can feel you working. Hi, Barbie. Yes, you're adorable. It's not time for you yet. Ow. Okay, so now we come up into down dog again. Hopefully I can do it because of my dog. Okay. Hi, you're in the way. She's such a goober. Okay, so we're going to drop the right knee down, turn the foot out, and then open up into that variation of side plank, Shavasana. And remember, you can make this a little bit more challenging by picking up the bent knee and taking it out. So instead of straight out to the side, which is an option, I want you to go down next to the foot. So you're going to place that right foot in front of the left and you push up through your hips. So being stable and swinging the arm around. That leg goes up into three-legged dog. So go right up into it. Nice. Good. And then we're going to step forward for warrior one again. We're a little add-on here. Warrior one. And then we straighten the leg and release the arms behind us. Drop the head down towards the knee. You're interlacing your fingers and they're coming up off the back. Head is at the knee. Even if you're not touching the knee, it's no big deal. You want to completely relax that head. So if you're having a hard time with balance, it just means that you need to separate your feet a little bit. So separate them so that you have balance. Relax your head. Good, and then you're going to release the hands down right next to that right foot. If you want to use a block, you can. Pull the block in right next to the foot, and then open up to the side. And we're rotating. Trikonasana. It's a hard pose. Okay, so watch the arm, you guys, the arm that's in the air. Do not let it drop to your low back. Keep it up, right up out of the shoulder. Good, straighten both legs. So Christine, yeah, I was just gonna make that adjustment. This foot, and that'll just make not liking it like that. Does that feel better? So just shorten your stance. All right, swing the arm around and reach up, three-legged dog again. Loving this three-legged dog. And then that leg comes forward and you're gonna go into a lifted pigeon. That means your back knee on the extended leg stays off the ground. Oh yeah. Now, if you have a block or two, I can use one block on one side and the other hand goes on my knee. Or you can use two blocks. Like that. Back knee is lifted because this is going to build strength. Hi, Marvy. It's not time for you yet. Hi. You're adorable. What are you doing? Okay, good. And then we're going to go back. Down dog. So if you're using blocks, put them off to the side. Shifting forward into plank. We're going to lower onto our tummies and hold it there. Let me move my dog. Hold on. Come here. Okay. So you're on your tummy and you're going to lift your feet, flex them, and then lift, grab. Whoa, downward facing bow, lift. So Elena, you should be able to do this. All you do is go down on your tummy, reach back for your feet. And if you can't grab your feet, it's not a big deal. You just go like this. Just lift everything. Thighs off the ground, chest off the ground. Or you can use a strap. This is really good for us. And then release. Push back into child's pose. Just a few seconds here. Just rest. Sorry. Harvey, go lay down. Then we come back up into down dog. Okay. Very fun. And now we drop the left knee. So I'm going to rotate so you guys can see what I'm doing. You drop the left knee, turn the foot out. So you're going to be facing the other direction. No, you're good. Stay like that. Just listen to my cue. Drop the left knee, turn the foot out. 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 So instead of in, out. Okay. And then you drop the back foot and open up. So it's that variation of side plank. Or you pick up this foot and extend it right in front of the right leg. Right? So you can do that. That looks great, you guys. Shavasana. Push up through the hips. Push up through the hips. That is how you get stronger. Isn't it fun? I know. I think so too. All right. And then that arm in the air comes around. Left leg reaches straight up. Okay. Left leg reaches straight up and you're going to step forward. Virabhadrasana 1. Remember that? Oh boy, time flies when we're having fun, you guys, and we are having so much fun. Okay, straightening your leg. You're going to drop your torso forward and your arms reach back behind you. Interlace your fingers. Drop your head down towards the knee. Now, on this leg, I pulled my attachment in the ischial tuberosity, which is right at the sit bone. So I have to pull my back foot in a little bit and a little bit out to the right. So I pull it in, and then that just gives me a little bit more space to drop my torso because it's challenging there for me. I've pulled my hamstring like 3 times. Okay, so drop your head, relax your head. Do not hold your head, let it go. Get in the habit of letting go of your head. It is a habit, by the way, to hold on to the head. So relax it, drop the head into the knee. Good, and then we drop the hands down to the ground. Okay, we're gonna go into Parvarita Trikonasana. So you might need a block. It goes right next to the big toe. Your back foot can come out a little bit to the right. Okay, and depending upon your level of flexibility, you can be on the baby toe side of the foot. That's gonna be more challenging. And then you can be the distance of where your hand is and your big toe really depends on your flexibility. So if you're further away, that's going to give you more space. The closer you get, the more challenging and eventually to the baby toe side of the foot. So you're pushing into that hand on the ground, into the block, rotating the torso. Parvarita Trikonasana. Looks great. Watch that arm in the air. That arm in the air, don't let it drop to the back. Keep it lifted. Don't let it do this. Keep it up. Good, that looks great, Christine. This is a very challenging pose. Very good for us. All right, swing the arm around. And that left leg goes up in the air, 3-legged dog. Draw your right heel down. And then that leg comes forward for a lifted pigeon. So you can use one block with one hand and the other hand goes on the knee. Or you can use both blocks. And toes curl under on the back leg. Keep your knee lifted. Keep reaching back through the back heel. Reach, reach, reach. Keep the chest lifted. This whole pose is lifted. It's great because it creates strength in the pelvis. Gotta stretch my psoas. Oh, I think it's my psoas. It is so tight from skate skiing. Okay. And then taking it back, down dog. Taking Chaturanga Dandasana, shifting forward, lower, lift, and back into child's pose. Oh, nice. Oh. Okay, so we're going to do another pigeon. So coming up into down dog, I'm going to attempt to do a pigeon here. I've got my dog in the way. Okay, so you're going to take your right leg forward. And if you can, pull the foot up a little bit higher so that the heel and the knee are more in alignment. Okay. So instead of dropping the heel into the groin, which is fine, it's just a variation, but you can make that pose a lot more challenging by pulling the heel up. And then we drop forward. So Elena, you just need to take your leg back a little further. You got it. Go down onto your elbows. You can use a block. Yeah, that looks great. And you have always lots of options with props. So if you're finding this quite challenging, which a lot of people do because we get tight in our hips, you could take a blanket, throw it right underneath the glutes on the right side. And that just gives us a little bit more support. Good, and then we're going to lift up and take it back into down dog. And now the other leg comes forward. Same thing, you're going to drop, pull the heel up a little bit. And then down onto your forearms. Try to relax. Okay, good. Then we're going to actually face the front. I do want you to use your blanket So you're either going to take your blanket and fold it in half, or if you need a little more lift, you're going to fold it in thirds. Okay. By the way, you guys, I'm teaching a class at TMCC that starts in February. It is an Ayurvedic course. So if you have not had your Ayurvedic consultation done, you can do a mini version of that at TMCC. It's a 4-week course, but you'll learn your dosha and you'll learn what's the appropriate diet and lifestyle for you. You'll learn the basics. You'll learn the Ayurvedic principles. Okay, so we're offering that at the community college. We're evolving here in Reno. It's a miracle. Okay, now if you're on a blanket, you always come to the edge of it, right to the edge. Sorry, you guys, I'm losing my voice again. I've been losing my voice now for over a week. So you come to the edge, right where your sit bones go to the edge. And what that does is it drops your pelvis forward. Okay. And then open up to one side. So here are your options. You can go take a block. It goes to the inside, and then that arm drops, open palm. And then you reach and hold it. Or you can drop to the inside with no block. And if that's pretty easy for you, then you might be able to come up with that hand, the one that's on the ground, and grab the big toe. And if that's working, then you can take the other hand in the air and grab the baby toe. Got it. This is hard. So make sure that your kneecaps are facing up towards the ceiling. And then that just kind of encourages your pelvis to be tilting in that forward tilt position. Okay, then slowly coming out of that, we go to the other side. So remember, take a block, open palm, reach. That's variation 1. Variation 2, that same arm goes to the ground and reach. And if that's working, then you can grab the big toe, reach. And if that's working, then grab the baby toe. Breathe into your side body. It's an area of the body that gets neglected. Good, and then lifting up. Very nice. And we're gonna bring our legs in together. And you're gonna take one foot in front. It doesn't matter which one. Just pay attention to what leg's on the bottom. And then the other leg goes on top, double pigeon. Okay, so this is important because there is definite tendencies of misalignment in this pose. I want you to identify the area between your ankle and your heel. That spot right there is what lands on top of the knee. Okay. Now, if this is really hard for you, your hips are really tight, then the leg that's on the bottom, you're going to pull the foot into the hip, closer to the hip. Okay. This is double pigeon. But eventually that bottom foot lines up right underneath that knee. Okay, so you're lining up. Foot, knee, knee, foot. Good, and let's rotate to one side. And rotate to the other side. You'll notice that there's one side that's a little bit more challenging. And then both arms together, okay, stack them and drop right down in the front. Relax your head. Ooh, breathe into your hips. Take your breath into your hips. Soften your hips. So one of the things that yoga does is it brings a lot of awareness of what's going on in our bodies, where we hold, where it's tight. It lets us recognize how we breathe. What's our normal breathing pattern? And by the way, there is a direct connection between low energy and lack of breath. Like people who are not breathing full capacity tend to be fatigued all the time, right? So you can increase your vital force by increasing your pranic flow. What is your pranic flow? Well, prana means breath. It also means vital force. So when you increase your breath flow, you increase your vital force. So you have more energy. Sounds good to me. All right, and release. We're going to shake out those legs forward. Whew, that was great. Okay, now we have to do the other side. Like I always say, it's a good thing we're not octopuses, then we would have to do 8 legs instead of just 2. All right, so whichever leg you had on the bottom, now you switch. Now you do the other leg, goes right there in front. And remember, we're identifying that spot between the ankle and the heel, and that goes right there on top of the knee. Right there. Okay, now if this side's really tight for you, that foot that's on the ground, you can pull it a little bit closer to the hip, no problem. It's just a variation. All right, and then we rotate to one side. And then rotate to the other side. And again, you'll notice that one side is a bigger stretch than the other. Shh. And then we go forward, forearms together, stack right on top of each other, and go right down into the front. So you should definitely be feeling more awake, right, than how we started class today. Oh, it happens. Keep breathing, keep dropping your breath into the parts of the body where you are feeling restriction. That's Kapha, right? Where you're stuck. Stuckness in the body is Kapha, right? It's one thing that we can call Kapha. There's a lot of other things that could be happening too. So sometimes we have stuff that we hold in the body emotionally, mentally. Those things get held. And if we don't release them, they just continue to accumulate. All right, and then we release and lengthen out those legs. And shake them out. Nice. And then reaching forward into a nice forward fold. Drop your head, relax. So you can rotate, yeah. Yeah, and just, yeah, take your blanket with you. Oh. There you go. Now relax your shoulders, relax your face. Breathe. Okay, and then slowly lifting up, we're going to go on our back, doing a counter posture, a bridge. I think the next class, we're going to do a huge practice on the floor, building core strength. Well, that sounds really exciting. So we go into bridge and hold it. It's a counter posture for all that forward folding. Very important to counter posture. So if you're doing a lot of forward folding, you always want to help release the pelvis, bring it back into neutral, reset it by doing a bridge or something similar to a bridge. We could do downward facing bow. We could do Shavasana, which is tummy on the ground and you're lifting your limbs up. Doing an arch in your back, even cobra would be a counter posture. All right, and then opening your arms up to the side, dropping your legs to one side, looking to the left. So if your legs are to the right, you look to the left. If your legs are to the left, you look to the right. Oh my God, there's like dog hair everywhere, and I just vacuumed yesterday. And then coming up and going to the other side. And again, you're rotating your head in the opposite direction. Good, and then from there, we set ourselves up for Shavasana. Yay! Good job, you guys. That was a great practice today. So if you have a bolster, you could place it underneath your knees for a little bit of low back support. Or I don't have low back issues, so I would rather be warm. So I take my blanket and I cover myself up, but you can put a sweatshirt on or you can put your socks on. And I want you to make sure you have something that covers your eyes, because your eyes are the most overstimulated sense we have. So then lay down on your back, palms up, arms alongside the body in a receiving position. Close your eyes and relax. Shavasana is very important because it is where we integrate our practice. Okay, so it's very integrating. And it also helps us leave our practice feeling really grounded and calm, right? So what we do is we settle all of that prana, all of that chi that we just moved around through the practice. So now we settle it, bring it in, bring your body into stillness, total stillness, quiet the breath. We're not shaping or manipulating the breath. We're letting the breath become quiet and subtle. And eventually the mind follows. And there is a practice. You can pay attention to the breath. Notice your inhale, notice your exhale, and add a slight pause at the end of your exhale. So it's not something that is full of a lot of effort. You just inhale, and then you go to your exhale, and then linger at the end of the exhale in that space. Come back into a natural inhale. Shavasana. Hold that. to deepen your breath. Wiggle your fingers and your toes. Slowly roll to your right side. Making sure that you're pausing there. Take your time. And then coming on up into a comfortable seated position. Hands together. And connecting your thumbs to your heart. Close your eyes. So if we connect with the heart, what we're connecting with is that center in our energetic body, our physical body, our mental, emotional body. That is the space where we are able to feel emotions. So it is our creative space for emotions. So oftentimes emotions get stored here. It's also where we have our heart's desire. Okay, so when the heart is open, when the heart is free, we're not restricting it with heartache or grief or attachment or beliefs around certain emotions and events that have happened in our lives. When we become freer, we then begin to connect with our heart's desires. Right? So just take a moment and imagine that you could create space there for that. It just holds space. And even if you are feeling grief, even if you are feeling attachment, even hold space for that. You don't have to do anything with it. The practice of yoga eventually will allow all of that stuff to rise to the surface and be released. That is the purpose. So we become freer, more and more open, more and more connected. So may you walk through this day feeling intention, feeling centered, feeling balanced, and energized. Namaste.
Marvy, you just make everything hard.